why democracy is mathematically impossible.
Democracy might be mathematically impossible. This isn't a value judgment, a comment about human nature, nor a statement about how rare and unstable democratic societies have been. One of the simplest ways to hold an election is to ask the voters to mark one candidate as their favorite on a...
What if we just did, let me just theorize here, like what would be, I think the truest democracy would be, to save everybody time, what if you all gave your vote to one person, let's say me, and then I just make the choices. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is a democracy, but like I'll do all the choices. I'll make the decisions and you can't question them. But it's not like it would be a democracy. It's a perfect democracy because I will know what you want and I'll pick it for you.
The US, being a former British colony, still uses first past the post in most of its states to elect their representatives to the Electoral College. But first past the post has problems. In the last 100 years,
I don't like calling us a former British colony. It's more like Britain was formerly able to hang out with us. It's like, I don't know who LeBron's dad is. What if his name was John? I wouldn't call LeBron John's son. I would call that guy LeBron's dad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Say there are 5 parties. One of them will be the smallest one, and so they won't win. Why would you vote for them? This is also true if you have 4 parties or 3 parties. This winner-takes-all voting system leads to a concentration of power in larger parties, eventually leading to a 2-party system.
I like to keep a fairly neutral chat here, but if any of you are hexagon voters, you can go yourself. Okay? It's about time we circles stand up. It's fucking ridiculous. Hexagons have driven our country to the ground. I heard hexagons eat and kill your kids in that order.
Instead, we could just ask voters to rank their preferences from their favorite to their least favorite. And if their favorite candidate gets eliminated, we go to their second preferences. When the polls close, you count the voters' first choices. If any candidate...
You literally might as well put a Kalashnikov in every child's hand and march us off to the gulag as Stalin's ghost looks on if you're going to do ranked choice voting. I didn't know Veritasium had fallen so far. I do think it's crazy that they figured out a way for hundreds of millions of Americans to vote effectively, safely, online over a period of time for American Idol in 2004. And we can't possibly do it for the presidential election in 2024. It would be awesome if there was a app tied to your social security number that you could install on your phone, the way you have a banking app or something, and it has a 2-factor and you check in and you could just pick your vote and just have it in there, just locked it in whenever you want. And then it just checks it on the day. What about poor people? Oh, they should vote. I'm sorry, was I not clear about that? No, if you're poor, I don't think your vote should count. Obviously, I would even check the model of the phone. If it's not like the latest Samsung at worst, then I wouldn't even count it.
It was the Minneapolis mayor's race, 2013. They were using ranked choice voting. The incumbent mayor had stepped down, and there were all of these people came out from the woodwork wanting to be mayor. There were 35 candidates. These 35 candidates, all of them were really nice to each other. They were all super cordial, super polite, to the degree that at the end of the final mayoral debate, they all came together and they sang Kumbaya together.
I don't want ranked choice voting anymore. I unironically supported it before, now I don't. That's cringe. Too cringe, dude.
In 1784, Condorcet's contemporary at the French Royal Society of Science, Jean-Charles de Borda, proposed a voting method. You ask the voters to rank the candidates. If there are 5 candidates, ranking someone first gives that candidate 4 points. Ranking them second would give them 3, and so on, with 0 points being awarded for last place.
A point system.
But the Borda count has a problem, because the number of points given to each candidate is dependent on the total number of candidates.
How do they do NBA MVP voting? You said NBA MVP voting would be the best type of voting. Well, how do they do that? Vibes? 100 people just vote on vibes? That would be funny. What if our election was a randomly selected 100 Americans just vote on vibes on the spot? We don't do a whole national thing. That's kind of what we do now. It's just 100 Americans in Pennsylvania. It's actually not too different to who decides our president.
Just ask the voters to rank their preferences, just like in instant runoff, and then count how many voters rank each candidate higher than each other candidate. This feels like the most fair voting method. But will there always be a winner in this way? You really like burgers, so that's your first preference.
Burgers!
Your second choice is pizza, and you put sushi last.
Yuck!
Your friend prefers pizza, then sushi, then burgers, and your other friend prefers sushi, then burgers, then pizza. So it seems like you and your friends are stuck in a loop. Burgers are preferred to pizza, which is preferred to sushi, which is preferred to burgers, and so on.
Just go to the closest one, you freaks.
One of those mathematicians was Charles
You know what would be a dope voting system is like a D&D based one, where you roll like a voteception check, and whatever number you get is how much your vote is worth. So if you get a 20, you get 20 votes. So it's kind of like normal voting, but it's a little bit of gambling, which Americans love. And then number two, it rewards the lucky. So we'll get a president who's like more picked by lucky people. Oh, and also if you get a nat 20, you get a sticker. You get a special sticker when you walk out. And then everyone would do it because it would get younger people to vote. And if you roll a 1, you'll get like a little poop emoji sticker too. And you'd be like, oh, I stunk out with a 1. But it's still funny, you know? So everyone can still like go to school and work and be like, yeah, I rolled a 1. I think that's a good idea. Oh my God, and you can buy a reroll. That way we can finally tax the rich who already buy our elections anyway. And it'll help fund our government. This is not a bad idea. 20 votes is not even that like crazy that it would like, this is not a bad idea. You get the gamblers, you get the gotchas. How much money per reroll? $8. $8 per reroll, but it goes up every time. 1% of your wealth and it doubles? No, that... Elon Musk throwing down $42 billion on his 5th reroll. Trying to get that 20. Yeah, dude, let's hook him.
Kenneth Arrow published his PhD thesis, and in it, he outlined 5 very obvious and reasonable conditions that a rational voting system should have. Condition 2. No single person's vote should override the preferences of everyone else. If everyone votes for pizza except one person who votes for sushi, well, the group should obviously choose pizza.
Unless this person's wealthier, then we need to rethink it, okay? I'm not saying it has to be sushi, but clearly we can't just dismiss them like they're a poor. Sushi if the guy foots the bill. That is like not too far off, bro.
Condition 5. If the preference of the group is sushi over pizza, the introduction of another option, like burgers, should not change that preference. Sure, the group might collectively rank burgers above both, or in the middle, or at the bottom, but the ranking of sushi over pizza should not be affected by the new option. This is called the independence of irrelevant alternatives.
I wonder if that holds true in real life. I feel like sometimes if I'm choosing between 2 food places, and then someone's just a 3rd food place, I wonder if it's ever flipped my opinion on the other 2. Sometimes I say, damn, wait, that hits, just to ease the tension. You're a good friend. Everyone's arguing over food and you just go, damn, wait, that hits. Yeah, Chipotle hits. You're a chiller. You're real. Even if you don't want to do it, that's great.
Arrow proved that satisfying all 5 of these conditions in a ranked voting system with 3 or more candidates is impossible. This is Arrow's impossibility theorem, and it was so groundbreaking that Arrow was awarded the Nobel Prize in Economics in 1972. So I want to go through a version of his proof based on a formulation by Giannakopoulos. Let's arbitrarily pick candidate B. If, say, half of the voters rank B first and half rank B last, then the claim is our voting system must put B either first or last. Then, by unanimity, C must be ranked above A. However, because we didn't change the position of any A relative to B, A must still be ranked above B. And because we didn't change the position of any C relative to B, C must still be ranked below B. And by transitivity, if A is preferred to B and B is preferred to C, then A must be ranked above C.
Fine, we'll get sushi.